Oh, before we get started, I will mention that an important first step is you're going to want to put on a bandana. Now, there's two main functions of the bandana. It's obviously highly fashionable, makes it look very, very cool, and also it's going to keep all that hair from getting into the food that you're preparing. I don't know if you're preparing food for someone else or for yourself. I kind of think either way, you probably don't want much food getting in there. So you're going to want to put a bandana on. If you go to bandanas.com, you can use the promo code ELPACHE to get 2 free bandanas with the purchase of 8 bandanas. So check it out, bandanas.com/ELPACHE. Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. My name is Joey, and I'm the drummer for the Casino Room Band. I'm sure you might be wondering why I'm standing here in my kitchen. Well, it's actually because today is a very special vlog post for the band. Today we're going to be doing cooking with El Pache, which is, as some of you may know, my sort of colloquial nickname. As far as my sort of qualifications to be teaching a course on this subject, it's worth noting that in addition to being the most well-rounded, most talented member of the band, both musically, my talents also expand beyond the realm of making rock music. I'm actually a very accomplished chef. I've been cooking for myself for close to 5 years, and I am even a one-time applicant of the Culinary Institute of America. Full disclosure, I didn't really have time to shop for this, so we're gonna just sort of see what we have in the pantry or the cupboard, depending on what you call this space where the food is kept. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the exciting part of this, the pantry. So I'm just going to go ahead and see what we have in here. This is where I keep most of my food. Like I said, I haven't really had much of a chance to go grocery shopping recently, but I have to admit what's really catching my eye right now are a couple of bags of uncooked pasta. So here's the interesting thing about pasta. It's not just one kind. We have, some rigatoni, and we have some classic spaghetti. What I'm gonna go with today is the rigatoni. And the reason I'm gonna make some rigatoni today is because the bag is already opened, and it's actually the perfect amount for just one person, which is all that we're going to need today. So you've picked out your pasta. I think the next step we're going to need to figure out is what's going to go on the pasta, of course. Let's go ahead and take a look at the fridge. Cut. Here we are at the fridge. Basically just going to see what we have in here. The freezer's here too. This is sort of a 2-part machine here, where down here it keeps things pretty cold, and up here it gets things really, really cold. So now, obviously, your first instinct is probably going to be to reach for a nice, delicious Miller Lite. But I think we're going to need to fight that instinct right now. You may find when you open your fridge something doesn't smell particularly good, and that's actually the case right now. So I would say a big challenge is going to be trying to figure out what, not necessarily what that smell is, but maybe find something in the fridge that doesn't smell bad. So my eyes are immediately drawn to this half-opened, half-used jar of tomato basil pasta sauce. Give it a couple little sniffs, and as you can tell by this point, I haven't immediately vomited all over my kitchen. And it's going to get the El Pache's stamp of approval for food safety. Pop into the freezer here and see what we can find to possibly throw on top of our pasta. I don't want to overcomplicate things, so broccoli. Organic for some vegetable medley. It sounds delicious. It's going in. Yeah, sorry to the eggplant heads out there. Eggplant will be in another lesson, I'm sure. We're going to hop on over to the stove and get rolling on that. So, cut. Okay, welcome back. We are now at the stove. I have all my ingredients over there. Yeah, I have a couple pots and pans and some other equipment. So this is, I would consider this to be more of a pot. Sort of long, more flat surface is going to be more of a pan. Also notable for, it's in cartoons when they hit people on the head. Okay, so the first step in making some delicious pasta is actually, you'd think, oh, he's walking away from the stove. Well, that's because we're going to go right here to my friend the sink. If we start warm, we don't have to go that much warmer to get to boiling. So that's a pro tip, pache secret. I know you can't really see it right now, but just imagine a sort of a pot that's kind of slowly filling up with water. And we're going to put this back on the stove. At this point is really where the magic starts. We're going to flip the stove on. I like to get it up to, my stove only goes up to 9, so that's where we're going to put it. You're going to want to put salt in this water. Now my salt is conveniently right here, so you're just going to pull out the little salt guy, and you just want to do kind of about a little, kind of a lot, and then you're good. And this is another, what do we just call it, a life, Joey's tip, a Joey tip. I did sort of just throw salt all over the stove, and that's going to be something that the show's not called How to Clean Your Kitchen, so I'm not even going to address it. Pick up your frozen vegetables, or whatever else you're going to put in there, and we want to get these to basically be not frozen anymore. So that's where this sort of pan is going to come into play. And remember, the pan is sort of the long, flat, for cartoons, they do it in cartoons. Similar to how the pot is currently, the water's kind of boiling. We're gonna turn the stove on to, we'll go 8 out of 9. Let's get a little bit of olive oil. Now, olive oil is great for all kinds of things when it comes to cooking. I like to use it as basically like a way to cook vegetables, or a way to, I don't know, cook stuff. Okay, take your olive oil, just put kind of a little bit in there, and this is a good little, what are the tips called? Pro tips. This is pro tips, okay? Kind of go like this with the pan. Basically get that olive oil all over the bottom of the pan. Put it down, it's going to start getting warm. In the meantime, I'm going to take out my broccoli. I love this stuff, can't get enough broccoli. Someone small would, or like a small person would maybe think it's a tree, but it's not, it's broccoli. Toss them in there, toss them in the pan. And you know what, there's not a lot left in this batter, so we're just gonna kind of do it all. It's good to have, maybe a wooden spoon, any kind of thing to just sort of like push around the broccolis, and kind of move them around the pan so that they get like evenly heated. It's gonna be a little bit of a waiting time. So I think we're gonna kind of cut here, and then come back with more interesting. What do we call the tips? What are they called? More tips for cooking. Okay, welcome back to the cooking show. My cooking show. So right now the water is getting there to the boil. I wanted to come back a little early to kind of talk you through what's going to happen with the broccoli. Now it's starting to get kind of soft. It's looking really green, looking like little trees. But I'm also down to spice things up, and in this case, actually literally spice things up. We're gonna put spices on the broccoli. Red chili pepper, maybe some black pepper. Let's see, what else do we have? Some South African smoke, maybe to give it some kick. I think I'm gonna start with just these 3. I'm gonna basically take the one and kind of do a little bit there, and then take the red chili pepper and kind of spice it up like this. And then we're going to take the black pepper and kind of give it one of these. Burned me a little bit. When you spice up the broccoli, it's basically going to make the whole dish spicier, which is really good, because that way it'll be more, it'll taste better. So we have some nice sizzling broccoli with spices. Got some water that's getting near a boil. It's looking good. I was just reminded of how important it is to wear your bandanas while you're cooking or playing drums or really at the beach or at the park. And you can get your best bandanas at bandana.com. Remember to use my promo code ELPACHE. That's how you're going to get 2 free bandanas with a purchase of 8 or more bandanas. This broccoli is actually pretty much cooked, so I'm just going to turn it down a little bit to a 3. Now remember, my stove is out of a possible 9. Got my bag of pasta, and this part is actually pretty easy. It's basically you're just going to want to just kind of pour that in there. And this won't take long to cook. It's pretty much cooked. It's not cooked, but it doesn't take long to cook. Sometimes it gives you on the bag how long you need. I don't usually look at that. I sort of just let it go. Yeah, it says 12 minutes. 12 minutes cooking time. There's no way I'm paying attention to that crap. You're going to want to just kind of occasionally stir this pasta up. Just give you something to do. We're going to take a quick break here, and we'll come back to sort of complete the dish. So, okay, guys, welcome back to the cooking show. What's it? I don't know the name of the cooking show, but we did talk. I talked to my producer off camera. We did figure out what we're going to call these like little pro tips. And so what it's going to be is Joey's Kitchen Bits. And you know, right on cue, I have another one of my best kitchen bits. What we're gonna do, if you're to the discerning eye, you may have noticed there's an extra pot here. I did take my pan full of broccoli off the burner. I turned the burner off. They're done. Don't need to overcook them. The pasta's boiling. It's almost done. You can see it's sort of steaming. It's very salty. It smells like a lot of salt. But basically, my next kitchen bit is when you have your sauce in a jar. Now, this was cold. It was in my fridge. What you're going to want to do is actually heat it up before you combine it. And this is something a lot of people don't do. We're going to again go to 8 out of 9. Alrighty. And that's just going to sit for a few minutes. It'll heat up pretty quick. We'll just do another wooden spoon. I have tons of wooden spoons, so I can go ahead and I'm going to move this wooden spoon over to sort of be the stir of the sauce. See, this is I realize it's getting a little technical here, but you can follow along. I have faith. Now the pasta is almost done. I told you before I don't really keep the 12-minute rule there. What I like to do is sort of just scoop out, and basically what I like to do is actually just kind of give it a blow, give it a little blow it off so it doesn't burn you. Ah! It's still a little hot, but it's done. Nice and done. Give the sauce a little stir. Okay, in the sink, I have a strainer. This is actually really cool. I'm gonna put it down here a little bit. Okay, into the strainer. See all that good smoke? It's all good. It's not smoke. It's just steam. Oh my God, so much steam. Don't worry about it. It's not smoke. I'm not setting the building on fire. It's just steam. Okay, so now what I like to do is take my original pot, sort of dump the pasta in there. I mean, this is kind of the exciting part. This is where everything kind of gets thrown into one sort of pot, as it were. Take my brocs, it's short for broccoli. We're gonna kind of put them in there. Take our sauce. It's steaming. That's exactly what you want it. You want it to steam just a little bit, bubble a little bit. It's perfect. Flip that off. Just pour it right in there. A little stir all together. And I'll tell you what, this doesn't look half bad. So you, at this point, if you followed along all the steps, followed my kitchen bits, followed along, did all the kitchen bits I recommended, have basically a pot of pasta in here with some vegetables, and see if you can get a good shot of that. Let's get a good shot of that. You get a shot of that. Let's make sure we get a sort of a shot of that. Make sure we get a good shot of that. From this point, you basically, put it on a plate, eat it. Make sure you wash it down with a nice, delicious Miller Lite, and that's how you prepare a delicious meal. Alrighty, well there you have it. Thank you so much for tuning in to another exciting, it's actually the first episode of the Cooking with El Pache. I taught you today how to make a delicious pasta dish, and hopefully you can do this at your home and have some pasta. So thank you so much again for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Look at all the other videos we have on the Casino Band page. And until next time, we will see you. I'll see you when I see you. Is that good?